embracing emotions. Embracing emotions for all of us feeler types, all of us feeling types. And if you're watching this video, you know who you are. You have always felt your emotions particularly strongly. And as much as you want to shut your emotions away, sometimes they are always there. So I want to talk to you about why it's so important as feeler types, as feelers, to really, really embrace our emotions. Because honestly, our emotions are our superpower. Our ability to feel is our superpower. And the reason why this conversation is even the reason why we even have to have this conversation is because we have such mixed relationships with our emotions. When we were children, we were often told that our emotions were too powerful, that they were a nuisance, that we were too sensitive, and we were taught often to shut them down, to push them away, to make ourselves small, even though we were feeling so our emotions didn't look as big. Okay, so we were taught in a lot of ways that our emotions were wrong and they weren't okay. And maybe some emotions were okay and others were not. And the other way that this impacted us as children, as being emotionally sensitive children, is that we were sensitive to other people's emotions as well. And so we were often the ones that were emotional healers, the ones that would feel other emotions for them. Sometimes we were overwhelmed by that. And we, in order to sort of cope with that, we helped other people soothe their emotions. We held healing, compassionate space for other people. They were the ones that came to us to seek counsel and advice and to feel better. So this is a lot for us to hold, right? Of really learning how to be serving other people and through our emotions, but not really being able to have the space to serve ourselves, to not understand how our emotions are here actually to serve us, because they are. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. So first of all, because we had received some mixed and not so great messages regarding our emotions, currently, oftentimes, we do still push away our emotions. So we push specifically and especially the ones that do not feel good, like anger, like shame, like sadness. We like to push those emotions away. Sometimes we're so good at pushing emotions away, we don't even feel them. We really like shut a door, okay? So when that happens though, the problem is that when that happens, when we shut a door on emotions, our emotions actually haven't gone away. They're waiting. They're waiting for you to process them and to release them. So here's the thing about emotions. Emotions and water act very, very similarly. You can think about emotions like a river. You're the riverbed and your emotions are the water. Your emotions need to run their course. And just like if you put a log in the river, there's going to be buildup. And so once you remove that log, there might be a huge rushing through. I worked with a lot of clients that have withheld their emotions for so long, and they kind of like unstop the process, and they just end up feeling for a really long time and feeling very strongly because they're needing those emotions to move through them, to work through them. And so, that's the key, is we allow the emotions to move through us, to run through us and run their course. And they always will. They will always run their course. There is our natural state is a place of calm, of stillness. And we allow those emotions to run through us and go back to source and back to stillness. So you might have heard from other people, and they say that, emotions aren't you, right? And it's true. Your emotions aren't you. But it's really important as emotional feelers to understand that our emotions serve a very, very important role within us. Our emotions are a power source. They connect us to our creative powers, our creative inspiration, to our creative forces. And our emotions are messengers. And so when we allow our emotions to run their course, we then, through that process, can listen and hear the message that our emotions are trying to send us. Our emotions come, the message from a deeper piece of us. You can call it your intuition. You can call it your higher wisdom coming through and saying something really important about the choices that you are making. So our emotions can really, really help us in choosing a specific direction and making choices of which directions we want to go. Noticing what those emotions provoke in us. If we're pointing this way, how does that make us feel? If we're pointing this way, how does that make us feel? And to use our emotions as markers. Our emotions can be really powerful in helping us make decisions. The other piece about emotions, however, is that in the messages that they carry is that our emotions are actually do desire to bring us into really, really important parts of ourselves and to build and help us grow. Okay, so I'm going to use specific emotions as examples and I'm going to use the hard emotions because it's really easy to see how joy and happiness and gratitude can help us feel good and help us grow, right? It's not as hard when we're talking about it's harder when we're talking about some more difficult emotions. So let's talk about sadness. Sadness actually helps us learn how to love. It actually opens our heart. When we come into a place when we fully embrace sadness within us, our heart opens and we are actually receiving love and giving love at the same time. So sadness is intricately linked to love. Anger. Anger is such an important emotion because anger helps us build boundaries. Anger helps us build boundaries. Boundaries as to us standing in our power, saying yes and saying no. Okay, anger will help you learn what no and what yeses to be saying. Here is an emotion that nobody likes to talk about: shame. What message could shame be sending you? So shame has a very powerful message of compassion and kindness and wholeness. Shame allows us to embrace all of who we are from a place of compassion. To see that that's actually the ways that we are imperfect is what makes us whole, is what makes us powerful. Finally, here's another emotion a lot of us don't like: jealousy. So what message could jealousy be holding for us? Well, jealousy oftentimes really, really helps us open to what we really want. It helps us open to desire because jealousy is pointing us towards what we see on the outside that someone else has that we don't have. So it's actually pointing us towards inside, being able to find that within ourselves and access it within ourselves through our desire. So those are just a few examples. And so in order to begin working with this energy, when you start to feel, first of all, give yourself permission and space to feel all the feels. Give yourself that permission and space. Reach out for support to others who will help, who will allow you to hold that space so you can communicate it, talk it out with them, share it with them. It helps those emotions flow so much easier, and it helps you come to a place of compassion within yourself and acceptance. So create that space. And then what's really helpful is to feel in and feel into where that emotion is living within your body, to still your body and to still your mind. And you can do it right now with me, to close your eyes and take a few deep cleansing breaths into your belly. Another one. And on the exhale, let any tension go and just bring your awareness to your breath. And then just begin to feel it out. Just bring awareness to your body itself. Bring awareness to whatever emotion you're feeling. And allow wherever that is within your body to awaken. So allow yourself to kind of gravitate to wherever it is living in your body, which really just allows you to hold it in a more kind of cohesive, whole way. Okay, so it doesn't feel like it's sort of leaking outside of you. So you and your body are holding that emotion. So as you hold the emotion in your body, wherever it lives within you, simply ask yourself, what do you want? What does this emotion want? Ask the emotion what it wants. You will often be really surprised by what it shares. That our emotions actually do often want something very specific. Sometimes we need to be seen and heard. Sometimes we need to put up a stronger boundary. Sometimes we really need a connection with somebody else. So it allows us to really come into full acceptance and self-love. That's always what it's about. It's always about coming into a place of wholeness and self-love with ourselves and putting ourselves first and living from a place where as we take care of ourselves, we fill our cups with all the great feeling, juju-ness, and then as our cups are full, the spillover can then be used to help and serve and support other people. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.